Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Wednesday afternoon, September 20th. We're looking at the market profile on Window Trader of ESNNQ. So, well. I said earlier today, in this morning and in my trading room, we knew he wasn't going to raise rates, and we also knew that he was going to give language going forward that they are going to raise them at least one more time. So, how the market reacts is pretty silly at times and stunning. Whatever key word he uses in his press conference and everybody panics or whatnot. But for now, Bears are going home feeling good.
The House of Pain.
But we've seen this game before. Couple of things, though, now that were accomplished today by the Bears. Number one, it's the third time we had an inside week down, and this time we've closed below last week's low pretty good. So we'll see if they're going to get traction off of that. Number two, the weekly is now down. No more balance. So the weekly is now officially down. Number three, we had an outside day down in all three of these indices. Okay? Number four, we have a trend day down. Number five, we went out with a nice price probe. So sellers are going to be going into tomorrow with everything in their favor. Do they give it all up? Remains to be seen. We're going to be lucky to do, the volume before 2 o'clock, including the pre-market, was 25 million. Well, we ended up at 70 without the after hours yet. So we did 45 million the last 4 time frames. Pretty good volume when they started puking them up. The one thing that was a little interesting today with this Fed day, we had a very small range. We generally take out both sides of it. Well, we didn't do that at all today. The sellers started early and kept it for most of the time, except for that one vicious pop in K period, which absolutely failed, and then that was it. Usually you'll take out both sides of the day's high and low. I thought we might get both the poor high and the overnight high. Never happened. It never happened, as the sellers from the get-go weren't happy with whatever. Now the biggest thing is, do we get a follow-through? Righty goes out with an afternoon rally high in G, double distribution day, price probe, and an outside day down. NQ goes out. Now another thing, one silver lining for bulls, we are 10 wide in ES and SPY. Now it did get lowered throughout the day a bit, but when this whole flush came, it couldn't get lowered anymore. So that is definitely something to keep in mind, where people were happy to do business 10 out of 13 time frames today. Could not be lowered. Why is that important? Because if these are weak sellers, and we take back what we did in L&M and get back inside of yesterday's value, you'll go trade at it. Now again, it might not be tomorrow, but it's something to keep an eye on. NQ ends with an afternoon rally high in K, 10 wide, double distribution day and a price probe and an outside day down. And we end 10 wide with a double distribution day, price probe, and an outside day down. G and H's highs were just too close to the day's high to use for an afternoon rally high for me in ES and SPY. Now, I had a decent day and I didn't do anything after E period. The market dried up. Could I have taken? Look, there's a couple of trades I could have taken. I was like, it's so easy after the fact to say I should have shorted K's high. Think about this. We had a decent set of single prints in J period. They got filled. Now, if I was thinking we could take out both sides of the day's high and low, it's easy to say, wow, K was a great short. But at that point, we took back the trend day. And what would have stopped us from just going and getting the day's high the way this thing, the way it rips? Nothing. So I'm not so upset about that at all. The other thing I could have done is once he stopped speaking, which was close to 3:30, is to look for shorts on any push-up in M period, because the market at that point was telling you any push-up was worth a short. Really didn't push up a lot as they just kept pushing straight down. I made 4 points in ES today. I made 42 in NQ. I made 2 points in ES looking for the overnight high. Thank goodness I got out of it when I did, because then we came in B period. I shorted NQ and C period for 31 points. I shorted ES and D period for 2 more points. Those were the 4 points. And then I longed NQ in both D and E period because I said I don't think we will hold trend prior to 2 p.m. And I made another 5 points and 6 points. So that's what I got out of that. We do end up holding trend down. So that's 33.7%. It seems like a year ago, you realize we gapped higher today. That failed, obviously. So only 10 out of 49 upside gaps have held this year. That's 20.4%. So a lot of the MGI, look, I had told the room if this was an FOMC day, when G and H went up, it would be a decent risk reward short, especially in NQ, because at that time they had lowered their value to just overlapping the high. They had gotten their overnight low. They had gotten their IB low. They had a little more against them than ES did at that point. But I say, well, it's not a normal day. It's the with them reporting at 2 and then the press conference at 2:30. Turned out Kay just barely took that out, and that's all she wrote. So again, we'll see if we do get follow through. As far as destinations, so on the upside we have L's low, which is our price probe of 440.24. Single prints from 440.94 to 441.47. 10 wide at 443.59. And today's high, which is poor, of 444.43. For the downside, we have 438.43 is today's low. 437.37 afternoon pullback from the 25th of August, and 435 is a weekly low. In ES, we have a weekly low of 46. Then we have a 34.25 weekly low, which right now is our monthly low for the month of September. We have 23.25, which is a weekly low and a poor low. And on the upside in ES, we have today's price probe of 64.50. Single print 72 to 77. 10 wide at 98.75. And today's high, which is poor, of 07.50. Now let's look at the charts in ES and SPY, because things are changing here. Okay? So we still have 7 days to go in this trading month. It's an inside month right now. However, we're now only $5.50 off the monthly low. Not saying we're going to go get it, but if we do, it's a good chance the monthly could be down by the end of this month. Right now, it's strictly balanced. It's a 3-month balance. Okay? So, right now it's July, August, September, 3-month balance, and it's an inside month. But we definitely have to be aware, if this market does get legs to the downside, can we now go down in a monthly? We'll see. Weekly, firmly down now. Okay, now they have the weekly low at 436.51. That is wrong. Right now our weekly low is today's low of 438.43. But I can't change it because it distorts it. I have to do it at the end of the week. We'll see if we get it tomorrow. But regardless, we are now down on the week, a double inside week down. Okay? And the daily, to me, is a 3-day balance. We came back into balance when we took out yesterday's high, but we did have an outside day down. So I would use Monday's the balance high right now, and today's the balance low. If we take out today's low, we will be down on the daily also. I wouldn't doubt we go test this double bottom around the 435 level at some point, right? Wouldn't be surprised at all if we test that. Look, I hope we get a nice follow through tomorrow on the downside. What I don't want is a big gap lower, because if you get a big gap lower, that sucks a lot of the wind out of the trade, right? So let me go back to the profile real quickly. This is what I would like to see. Now again, the market doesn't care what I want, but this is what I would like to see. I would like to see us open above today's low, below L's low, spent some time, we would have lower value, because value didn't get pulled down. We would have lower value, can't get back above the price spike or the price probe, short it, right? Because it's a good risk reward short against both the single prints and value low. Like I said, if that all gets taken back, game is over for the shorts. But if this holds and you take the short and then we start going for yesterday's low and then we go trend down, that would make for a really nice fun day. But if we get a big gap to the downside early, it could suck a lot of the wind out of that trade. Anyway, I hope you had a good day trading. Hope you stayed safe. Thanks for the likes and subscribing. I did, one other real quick note, my podcast I did with Aaron Corbs will be released this Friday at noon. I'll put it out on all the social, on the social media things once it comes out. So hopefully you guys and gals enjoy that. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.